Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is just a test. I'll be testing this. I'll probably come back later on. I'm just trying to make sure I test this first. I've had major problems with this setup, and I don't know why. Obviously, you know that Facebook has been trying to block what we're doing, so I have not really been able to do much work. So that has frustrated things so much. But I want to make sure it is stable, it is working, and I just have not been able to work. Now, in the middle of all of that, let's take an opportunity to look at Sanwo. By the way, please take a guess. How many students are out of school in Lagos State? Take a guess. I'd like you to take a guess. How many school children are out of school in Lagos State? How many? How many? How many? How many are out of school? Would you like to hazard a guess? How many students are out of school in Lagos State right now? Would you like to know? Let us go there. We are going to go there. Let us do that. Because these guys, they are full of trickery. Good afternoon to you, those of you watching me. If you're watching, I'm just testing out the system for a few minutes. I want to make sure that it is stable. Because for some time now, it has not been stable at all. It's just been breaking apart. And I really didn't have a handle on what's going on. And I think I might have solved it. We've got people in to do a few things, and I've tried to change a few things, and I'm hoping by at least people being aware of what's been said now in terms of the restriction that Facebook has placed on us. I hope we're all aware. So let me give you that information if I can find it. 1 second. There is an information I want you to have, which I found quite shocking myself. 1 second. Now, let me show you something. I'm going to. No, thanks. Yeah. Okay, fine. Now, I want to show you something whilst we're doing
January
this.
can be a difficult month financially for many people and charities, and Tesco has already provided grants to many local projects across the UK, such as Emmeline's Pantry Food Bank in Manchester. If you're part of a community project, why not apply?
Sorry about that. So now, I don't know what that is, but I've managed to deal with it, so it will not be hassling us. Now, I want to show you something. Lagos State. Yeah, look at how they did it, but they won't. If you look at this, let me show you something. This is Vanguard. Yeah, this is Vanguard. What date was this one? 18th of January. Vanguard, 18th of January. Now I'm testing the system now to make sure that it doesn't suddenly break. That's what I'm trying to do now, to make sure that there's no break, there's no interruption. So I'll come back and properly do a proper video. It's just been very frustrating of late that the things I've been doing will suddenly break. Now, if you look, it says a co-excel taken out of school children off the streets. Last web bus. Now, let me show you the figure for Lagos State. I'll show you. It's not me writing it, it's them. Listen to this. Watch this. Lagos State has over 2 million out of school children. And it is only now. They are now coming to election year in 2023. So guess what? They want to come and talk to you about it. They want to come and impress upon you how good they are. Don't fall for the trick. It is a lie. Yeah. Accra. Okay. Okay. God bless you too, my brother. Thank you so much, my brother. Vine Maxwell. I appreciate you. Yes, very much appreciate your comments there. Yeah. So Vine Maxwell, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for. Yeah, we will continue speaking truth to power. We won't be silent. Facebook have dropped my number significantly, but that's okay. Good afternoon to you and those of you watching. I only will say to you all, please help me subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube, because that's the best way we can get our information out there. And tell friends and family to join us now. I think I may have solved the problem to a certain extent on one side. The issue still remains that I am not, Facebook are blocking me. So I'm going to try and go on Facebook later on, but I wanted to just touch base. But I wanted to, this is one thing I wanted to bring to your attention. Lagos State has 2 million children out of school. And the government wanted to tackle the introduction. This is the problem the government wanted to tackle. So it's only now, in 2022, a year before the elections, that they want to tackle the problem. Continue. Can you see the trickery? 2 million. Now, what does this man do? What does this man suddenly do? What does he do? Sorry about this. What does he suddenly do? I'm going to just do something quickly. Copy. Now here is Sanwo for you. That is your Sanwo. He decides to what? He decides to suddenly, he decides now we now sees children on the streets. Let's watch this video.
School.
Let me see. See, loco.
Is it a private school or government school? Right. So your parents haven't paid. Is that why you're not going?
So it's the fault of the parents that haven't paid. Every child is entitled to school. This is not the fault of the parent at all. This is nonsense. Don't fall for, the parents are the ones. The state have not provided the facilities nor the funds to provide free schools for our children. Can you see this nonsense?
Oh, they haven't paid.
They haven't paid.
Is it Hausa?
Can you see? If you look further down, you can see state managed. What do you see there? You see police. You see, because it's the governor. They are liars. Exactly. They are pure liars. Why is it now that they are now telling us, we care? Look, his police, he's got army. Why do you have army next to you? If you are a governor, you should have plain security protection around you. Fine. But to have army, that means you know that you're not even safe. No one is safe. These kids are not safe. They could be shot anywhere. This is nonsense. Now watch this. It looks like we've got this worked out.
You just came to Lagos. From where? From which state?
You see?
Kano.
You see?
Father Lord Almighty. How old are you? 12. How old are you? 9. So where
you see, it's now showing. Let me go and show you that thing again, so you know what they. So so you know that when they're doing this, it's all a trickery. I am going to show you this one. I want you to just keep looking at this one. Remember, Lagos has over 2 million out of school children. They've not talked about it all. They know it's only now, a year before the elections, that they now say they want to tackle the problem. Can you see the fraud? I hope you can see the fraud. Exactly. Van Maxey, why didn't they say before now? They are pure liars and must not be trusted. Treacherous bunch of people. Vine Maxwell, well said. Well said. Now, I'm probably going to go back and I might show this program later on Citizen AY on Facebook. Because it looks like I might have been able to solve the problem somewhat. And also because it's stable now. That's what I wanted to check above all. But let's watch this video for a while. Let's watch this now. Let's listen to the trick. Please continue to subscribe and share Citizen AY on YouTube. It's the only way we can get our information out there. So let's just go here. Now,
how can I get to your parents now? Do you know their number?
So So I'm just testing.
You are 9, you are 12, okay?
So can you see?
That I came in a bit late this morning.
Can you see all of this now? It's all planned, though. All of this is planned. Oh, I came late this morning because I saw 2 kids on the street. But what he doesn't tell you is that they have the information that 2 million, Lagos has over 2 million children out of school. 2 million. And they will come and start trying to give you the okie doke, trying to give you the spiel, trying to pretend we care. It's all electioneering. Don't fall for it. Do not fall for it. It is a lie. It is a fraud. And we are going to continue to expose them. Thankfully, I've been able to, it looks like we might have been able to solve this issue for a couple of weeks now, maybe a month. It's been a problem that I just have not been able to fathom. On top of being blocked on Facebook. So I'll come back later on. But I wanted to just make sure we all understand that this is a fraud. There is a much bigger subject I'll be touching on later on. You will see, let me give you some indication. So let us hear what he's going to say here.
And that speaks to the reality of where we find ourselves as a people. And that makes nuisance of whatever speech that have been given to me. Because it affords me an opportunity to speak straight from my heart and to tell you a clear testimony of what happened this morning.
So he offers scholarship to 2 girls, school girls. 2. What about the 2 million? What about the 2 million? They don't want to do that. Oh, no, that's too much work. Lagos has over 2 million out of school children. Lagos has. Can you see it? 2 million out of school children. He won't fix that. He will give, instead, he now offers scholarship to 2. And that is the headline. He wants you grab your headline. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see the trickery? You see? So, why, if you are going to give scholarship to them, why not make sure that the entire school is free? People are going into schools right now. Why not? Why not? So this is the trickery that we are exposing. Let's listen on to what he's going to say now.
I have the pictures. So we're driving to this venue this morning.
Listen.
So this is the picture. This is me wearing a white shirt. So this is this is a classic example of what we go through in Lagos.
Electioneering. I am going to come back and talk about this video properly later on. Because now, when I'm watching this now, it is all electioneering, and we shouldn't fall for this. Yeah, I don't know when Nigerians will realize that these politicians are doing abracadabra with their lives and join us to disintegrate that British franchise called Nigeria. Thank you very much. This is exactly the kind of discussion we should be having. It's just that I needed to do 1 or 2 things. If not, I would have probably come back. And I wanted to test the system first. So when I tested the system, I wasn't sure if it was stable enough. And I was wanting to make sure that the protection system that we put in place now was functioning sufficiently to at least stop any sudden breaking and interruption of the broadcast, because that was, for the past week or so, that has been a major problem. You will notice my broadcast, it will suddenly be going and suddenly it cuts, and suddenly it cuts, and that made it very difficult to be able to give a consistent broadcast to you. But very much like my brother Vine Maxwell said, I don't know when Nigerians will realize that these politicians are doing abracadabra with their lives and join us to disintegrate the British franchise called Nigeria. Exactly. This is a fraud, because the election year, their so-called election, by the way, I urge every right-thinking Southerner to say no to 2023 selection. It is not an election. It's a selection. It is not an election. It is a selection, and it is a fraud. So this is what I wanted to bring to your attention. I'll probably come and I might even talk about this again later on, but I'll be adding a lot more subjects to it. So this idea that they are talking to us to believe in one Nigeria. How can you believe in one Nigeria when one Nigeria is actually designed to enslave you in your own land? I'll give you a lot more instances later on as to why you must not be part of those people who still have any idea or any thought of believing in one Nigeria, because one Nigeria is frankly a fraud. Please don't forget to give us thumbs up and like the page as you're watching it. The more thumbs up you give us, the more the broadcast will be able to reach more people. It's looking like the broadcast is much more stable now compared to before. I am much more confident in what I'm seeing before me. So if you are able to, and you would like to, want to help the podcast, the best thing you can do in all cases is always give us a thumbs up, subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. That is the best way you can help us. Now let's listen to more of this charade that this man is doing.
This is the road that takes you from Antoni Village onto Ikorodu Road. So I stopped.
You see?
Because I saw something that bleeds my heart.
You see?
Two little...
If you see that it bleeds your heart, there's 2 million of them. Don't take my word for it. It is your own figures. It's in Vanguard on the 18th of January. It's in Vanguard. Lagos State has over 2 million out of school children. Deal with that instead of making all this bravado and all of this headline grabbing nonsense. Listen, no.
Girls, ages 9 and 12, carrying buckets on their head to go and grind pepper at 11 o'clock in the morning.
You see?
See how beautiful they both look. See how vulnerable they are. And see the risk that we're putting them to.
I'm glad you admit that you and your governance have been putting our kids at risk. I'm glad you finally admit that. But these are the kind of things that we need to be addressing in truth. We need to say it and call it out like it is. These are the kind of things. Please, ladies and gentlemen, assist us. Give us a thumbs up on the page as you're watching. We need to grow this platform properly. Facebook are probably going to unpublish Citizen AY any moment. But these are the things that we are really keen to expose, the lies and the fraud of the government, of the people who call themselves leaders. 2020, their 2023 elections is what all of this is geared towards. All of this is geared towards that. If it's going to be bleeding for 2 girls, how about the 2 million kids out of school? All of them. Why not bleed for them also collectively and fix the problem and make sure that no child goes without school in Lagos State straight away? No ifs, no buts. All of this is a charade. Now watch.
I'll tell you their story because I've taken it upon myself that these 2 girls,
you see, 2
will never suffer what they saw this.
2 girls out of 2 million. 2 girls out of 2 million. Can you imagine this nonsense that this man is talking about? 2 girls. And you have 2 million kids out of school in Lagos State. Now, I'm going to do some check. Let me just check.
It will be a simple example. Working with an initiative like Sweepy and all of us. We do not need to be a governor. We don't need to be a first lady for us to just change our environment. I stopped the convoy and they were scared. And I asked them not to be scared.
What convoy?
Tell me who they are. The lady that is in something that appears as a school uniform, because we're going to find out. Her name is Chidima Amarachi. She's 9 years old.
See?
Guess what she said? She said she's not going to go to school until Monday. And I asked her why. She said her parents cannot afford. She mentioned the name of the school. Of course, it's a private school. So my question is, if as a parent,
you should be shame on you that our kids are not private or public. Kids cannot go to school, and the parents cannot pay. Shame on you. Now let's go and look at. I'm trying to find a state for you, another state. So we know that Lagos is 2 million. So let's go look at Lagos State is 2 million out of school in Lagos. Which one is this one is showing also? Out of school children. You see, they're trying to tell us that you see this I can't even trust their graph. I can't. We need to know how many are out of school in every single state. But ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to just show you.
You cannot afford.
I'll be back later on.
Child in a private school. There are so many public schools Public primary schools,
now
we that were doing great things. We have Eco Excel.
I'm going to come back and do this later on. Let me just go and sort something out.
Why would you defer and deny? Please let's leave the picture and deny a 9-year-old girl from not going to school.
And that's because of your policies as a governance. I'm going to come back and talk about this properly later on. But ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to just show you the kind of lie that they are up to again. They're up to those tricks, you know. Governor Sanwo doesn't have morals to educate us on what's wrong after all that he did to our youth in Lekki Tollgate. He's a trickster. They are doing politics of convenience and selfishness. Absolutely right. Absolutely right, Vine Maxwell. Absolutely right. And this is one of the reasons. This is why we have to go for Yoruba Nation, Igbo Nation, Middle Belt. We need to dismantle contract Nigeria. Contract Nigeria is actually has been designed to make sure that we are enslaved in our own land. We don't have access to our own mineral resources. Did you hear me? Let me say it again. We do not have access to our own mineral resources. 0.3% of our GDP. The extraction of our resources form 0.3% of our GDP. I'll come and give you the breakdown of the figures, and I'll tell you exactly how many resources we have. And in the states, I'm going to mention 6 states. I'm focusing slowly on Southwest at the minute, but we'll expand it to other states because it takes a lot of time to do that. And now that we are now able to, I'm now finding that the system is now stable. I've been able to sort the problem out. Now I've been able to understand and substantiate why the system has been really problematic on top of the actions of Facebook. Now there is much more confidence because I did not feel that I could really sit down and discuss and have discussions with a system that was just not reliable. Because I spent half the time trying to fix the problem than actually trying to give you the information that you need to make critical decisions. Another thing I want to bring to your attention is something that I posted earlier on, and I'd like you to look at it. So this is something to just know that it's when you see pictures like this, just know it's election time. Anytime you see our governors, politicians on the streets trying to connect with the people, no, election time has come. That is what they are doing. It is all about election. All of this is about optics. Don't fall for the okie-doke. Now, let me show you something. Another thing I want to bring to your attention. So we mustn't allow them to trick us or to fool us. Please continue to give us a thumbs up as you're watching. Please, we do appreciate you. Give us a thumbs up as you're watching this broadcast. It would really help us if you give us thumbs up, more people can get to know about the broadcast and they can share it and they can discuss more. So your participation in this process is really, really important. Now, I'm going to try and do something as I'm watching this straight away. So I appreciate you. Please, another thing I want to bring to you, continue to give us a thumbs up, like, and share on the page. I see 3 likes right now. I'm really grateful for that. I'm going to quickly I want to make some changes to the headline as you've seen it for those who are just joining us. I want you to know this something I'm going to put here that they don't know. So I'm making changes to the headline as you've seen it so that you can see what is going on. It's very important. Paste. So I'm just making some changes so to the caption because I'm actually putting it 2 million out of school children in Lagos State. That is the information that Sanwo-Olu and others don't want you to know. Now he's suddenly given money. He's given scholarship to 2 girls out of 2 million. How does that solve the problem? To give scholarship to 2 of the girls, good as that may be, it is a way to hide. He's hiding from his responsibilities by using those girls as, shining light, look at what I've done. And it's totally ignored 2 million children on the streets of Lagos as we speak, out of school, you know? So, amen. Yes, please, Vine, thank you so much. Yes, dude, we will talk later on, my brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, you can, and do come in and help me spread the broadcast about Citizen AY, the platform. We're trying to build that. So, So I just want to just push it, so I'm writing this one now. So I'm saying giving to scholarship to 2 out of 2 million is a joke. To two children out of 2 million is a joke. Is a joke and a political gimmick. So I'm going to put that there so that people can see that political gimmick for 2023. So say no. So I'm going to put hashtag say no to 2023 selection. That's what it is. All of them are all trying to do all of this stuff for supporting Tinubu and all of that nonsense. So Vine Maxwell, you are absolutely right, my brother. So, and all of this is a selection. We do not have valid elections in contractual Nigeria. Since the last fair, free and fair elections we ever had in contractual Nigeria was June 12, 1993. That was the day democracy died. The day democracy died was the day they took the mandate that we the people gave late MK Abiola. They took it away and they now give us this fraud and a fraudulent constitution. We need to go for referendum. Now so I'm going to put referendum now. All of this is to make sure that we all understand that it's a citizen of trickery and lies that we mustn't fall for. So let me just make sure that is there. So I'm going to do that now so you can see it. Sorry, 1 minute. So I'm trying to change this and I'll probably come back later on and I'll probably talk about this again because this is such an important thing that we mustn't allow their lies to continue. We cannot allow this lie to continue. They have lied and lied and lied. They've lied their way into power, and we mustn't allow that to happen. We mustn't accept this nonsense from them. They have lied their way into power. These people just come and they lie and lie and lie and lie. So later on, I will come back and I will do this program. I will plan it. I'm going to put a few more things. But before I go, in fact, that reminds me. There was something I was going to show you on top of this as well. I want you to factor this in. All of the churches, quote me, you won't hear this from the lips of your pastors, imams. Nigeria is enriched with over 40 types of minerals, including marble, gypsum, lithium, silver, granite, gold, gemstones, bentonite, iron ore, and talc, oil, gas, and bitumen. That is information that they will never, ever, ever, ever tell you. So these are the kind of things that I'm trying to bring to your attention. We need to really change the narrative. We cannot leave it to be the preserve of those who are intent on fooling us. And make no mistake about it. The so-called pastors and imams, they are all part of this lie. If a pastor and imam truly loves you, if he truly cares for your well-being, he will make you know that your salvation, the salvation you seek, is within your grasp, is actually in your soil, and he would help you to make sure you go and get a group of people together to begin to exploit those resources to benefit you and your community and yourself collectively together. But what they're doing is telling you the kingdom of God is in heaven, and while you continue to work and everything else, you get your reward in heaven. And they are trying to work with the government to deny you access to your resources. You are blessed. If you are going to pray, God give me this, God give me that, and you are not taking action to exploit and use the resources beneath your feet. 0.3% of our mineral resources is what is being exploited, being used by mined in that contraption. 0.3%. And we have over 70 million people unemployed. we have over 70 million people unemployed. Let me try and see if I can get you that information again. 70 million. Because they form about 10% or 9 point something percent of our population. Given it's about 210. By the time you do the sums, that is 70 million people unemployed right now in continental Nigeria. And they are telling you to believe in one Nigeria. Please wake up. I urge you, stop this nonsense. And I say that with all emphasis. I don't make no bones about it. So wake up from this nonsense. Pray in your own time. Pray in your own time. But it is time we woke up. We in diaspora, we're sending money. We're trying to make sure that we help at home. And we're doing our level best. But the problem is those in governance, they are intent on using any means, all means, to imprison us so that we never question the injustices that they put us under. We have. Give you an example. Let me show you another thing. I'm trying to find you. Let me see now. I'm trying to find you. There are things I'm going to try and get to, So, yeah. So, here's another thing I want you to look at. I want you to look at this one. Estimated over 70 million are unemployed. And the reason for that is the 68 exclusive items on that fraudulent constitution means that those who are unemployed, they cannot have direct access to those resources to improve the lives of their community and themselves. The government are saying them, how is the government enabling people to get out of poverty when you are restricting their access to the resources beneath their feet via 68 exclusive items on the fraudulent constitution? And this is why we're saying we're going for a referendum. We are going for a referendum. And I will come back and I will talk about this in more detail later on. These are things that we must mention. Please, I urge you as you're watching, click on the subscription button. Give us a thumbs up. We do appreciate you. You can see now, for some time now, I've been able to do the broadcast and it looks like it's been stable. It looks like it has been stable. And I feel more comfortable with the setup now. And I'm going to deal with this issue of the Facebook later on. I'm going to come back later on and deal with that. But I wanted to do this. Maybe I'll probably be back in another half an hour or so. But I wanted to just test what was going on here first. But I don't fall for the lies or the likes of... You will see all the politicians. They will suddenly be in our community now. They will suddenly want to be our friends. They will suddenly start coming. Oh, yes, I'm going to give scholarship to 2 people. 2 out of 2 million in Lagos. 2 million children are out of school. And Sanwo gives scholarship to 2 of them. And it's clapping and everybody's clapping. Clapping for what? Shame on all of them. Yes, I said it. Shame on all of them. Yes, I'm happy those 2 girls got scholarship. But what about the remaining 2 million? What about the remaining 2 million kids out of school? What about them? And that's the end of story. When it does that, I've done it. You have dealt with it. You haven't dealt with anything. And the issue that we're talking about, another thing I want to bring to your attention, I do like to do things and talk about things in particular ways. Let me see if I can get you this information that I also came across that I want us to know. These are the kind of things that I like to do. My page is really, Citizen AY is really about speaking truth to power. In Lagos, how many kids learn in school that they have mineral resources? Here are the mineral resources that we have in Lagos. You have it on the picture there. It says bitumen, clay, glass sand, oil, and gas in Lagos. How many are taught about this in Lagos State? Imagine if you are in a school where, as you are going to school, it is part of your curriculum to know what resources are in your state and how you can use it and what those resources are used for. That would mean that the students can begin to be part of the solution to the problems that we have. The bad roads, the no electricity, the fact that we don't have oil or gas. We can be able to mass produce. We'll be able to actually. Oil and gas, for example, the refinery, we can build it and the kids will be aware. Instead of telling us we are poor, we are not poor. Get this right. We as people, as Southerners, in fact, the entire contraption called Nigeria, there is no part of it that is poor. There are 40 minerals. Abundant. Let me give you another information that you need to look at. You see, Ajaokuta, because I just don't like to just say things alone. I want to back it up with facts. Now, look at this one. I'm just today, Nigeria has more than 3 billion tons of iron ore. It is the 12th largest iron reserves in the world. So, tell me, why are we importing car parts? Why is it that the things, we have these resources, but we import it? Why can't we employ our own people? Of the 70 million, if we increased our mining to about 15% of our total reserves, do you know how much jobs that will create? Do you know how much jobs that will create? And there will be no need for our people to leave our country, because the resources are, look, we are blessed beyond compare. I'm not just saying this. Look at this. I'm going to show you. I wasn't going to give you that information, but I'm going to do that now because it's important you have this information. I want you to go and look at this. I want you to read this yourself so that you know. These are things that we need to speak about. The mining industry in Nigeria. Mining of minerals in Nigeria accounts for only 0.3% of its gross domestic product due to influence of vast oil resources. The government has focused on just looting the resources of the oil and not and the resources that they loot, they're not even using to build the nation. And this is why it's time for us as Southerners to break away from contraction Nigeria. Contraction Nigeria is designed to enslave us. I'm going to read you something. Listen to this now. Rights to ownership of mineral resources is held by the federal government. Can you see that? Of Nigeria, which grants titles to organizations to explore, mine, and sell resources. Now, I'm going to go and bring you the Nigerian Constitution to make sure you understand the connection with what I'm telling you. Now, here we go. These guys don't have your interest at heart. 68 exclusive items. So here's the Nigerian Constitution now. I don't want to do that, but I'm trying to just show you. So this is the fraudulent Constitution. I should have changed that. You don't need to download it, but I'm trying to show you 75, page 75. I'm going to just quickly do this. So I want you to see the connection, because you need to see the connection. You see what I read there? Let me read that to you again. Right to ownership of mineral resources is held by the federal government of Nigeria, which grant titles to organizations to explore, mine, and sell mineral resources. What about us, the people? And you tell us we are poor. Can you see? Can you see the connection? And they've done that via the 68 exclusive items. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Here we go. Let me go. I want to just make sure you understand what is going on here. So fishing rights. So fisheries, for example. You cannot go fishing without getting permit clearance from your government. But the government will tell you you are poor. The government will not give you those rights because you are not from a certain section of the elite or the northerners or the Fulanis. And this is what I'm talking about. Now, let me show you one more thing. In terms of mineral resources specifically, right? I'm going to show you section number 39 of these exclusive items. It's directly linked to that. Look at that. Mines and minerals, including oil fields, oil mining, geological surveys, and natural gas. They are in what is known as your 68 exclusive item. So you see, this is what I'm saying to you. We cannot walk away from this anymore. The 68 exclusive items, you see, they are 68 in number total. Can you see that? Let me show you. I'll go to the bottom. You see now, 68 exclusive items. Concurrent legislative list 68. Now I want to go back to the mining. Look at what it says in the mining. Rights to ownership of minerals resources is held by the federal government of Nigeria, which grant titles to organizations to explore and mine and sell. So you as a citizen, they deny you access to it. Only organizations that they deem fit, but it's in your own community. And you tell me to believe in one Nigeria. Wake up. You need to wake up. That is the clear evidence I'm putting before you, that we must dismantle contract in Nigeria. Only 0.3% of the mining of minerals forms 0.3%. And we are endowed with minerals. Let me show you another thing. Because I just want to, I will come back and talk about this. We need to wake up. Stop this praying nonsense. You can pray in your own time. But the Most High has blessed us. Our ancestors knew that our land, we are blessed forever. It is up to us to wake up and begin to make sure that those who have held us in captive in our land, we free ourselves from their shackles and we use the resources to improve the lives of not only the coming generation, but thousands of a million years from now, that they're benefiting from the resources beneath our feet. And using it in a judicious manner to not, just waste it and add to the global warming. This can be done. This can be done in a good way. Create jobs, and we can be an economy whereby we stand on our own, and none of our children will have to ever leave Yoruba Nation, Biafra, Middle Belt, and even the Arewas. You never have to go and live in a foreign country again. Never, with the resources that you have. Never. So I will come back and talk about this, but I want you to just think about what I just said. The right to ownership of mineral resources is held by the federal government, and they restrict our access to our own resources. Remember, we are our own government. Borehole in your house, who provided? You. Light in your house, who provided? You. Toilet in your own house, and who provides it? You. Safety in your own house, who provides it? You. School for your children, who provides it? Who pays for it? You. The road to your house, who pays for it? Transformer that will give you light, who pays for it? So what is the government doing? But yet they are restricting your access to the resources that you can use to improve your community. Can you see why we have to go for referendum? I hope you can see that. I'm going to be discussing this at length in greater detail later on. But please, I want you all to please help me share this podcast. I will stop here for now. I thank you for watching. This was really a test to make sure that my broadcast will not break, because I remember when I was doing the broadcast, it suddenly would break several times and it was really slow. It was really intermittent. It was not doing. Now it looks like I've got it back to a stable level. Now I can begin to plan and build things. But I didn't feel, when you're not able to, when that broadcast, when you can't trust your system and how things are functioning, you're not likely to really, you can't flow. Now I can begin to feel a sense of confidence about that, so I can give you the much needed information. I want you to know there is no part of Nigeria that is poor. When they tell you that you're a poor place, they're trying to send you, you see the pictures where they say we're poor. No, what is happening is that the system that's been designed, the fraudulent democracy, we are not a democracy, it's a fraud. It's been designed to make us think that we don't have anything when we have everything and more. The UK, for example, they import iron ore. We have 3 billion tons. Let me show you. 1 minute. Let me see if I can find this for you before I wrap up. I'll come back and talk about that. But it's important that we know the context of things. It really is important. If we do not, you will be, listen to that. Nigeria is home to 3 billion tons of iron ore. 12 largest iron ore reserves in the world. And somebody will come and tell you are poor. 12th largest. Again, let me show you another thing again. Because, listen to this, the domestic mining industry is underdeveloped, leading to Nigeria having to import minerals that it could produce domestically. So, do you know that the government in 2018, they paid $2 million to import bitumen in 2018? Something that we have. You've seen it on the list. Over 40 of the minerals, of which in Lagos alone we have bitumen. But we pay money. And these are the people that want to lead you. They're wasting our resources and denying our generations of good quality of life. Now, do you see why we have to go for referendum now? This is why we must go for referendum now. So that's one more thing. Now, let me show you one more. Now, there's one more thing. No, not that one. These are things that I set up. If you could see more of it, but I'm trying to give you, there's one more information that I found. Yeah. Nigeria is enriched with over 40 types of minerals. So watch on the screen. Nigeria is enriched. Enriched means you're wealthy. With over 40 types of minerals, including marble, gypsum, lithium, silver, granite, gold, gemstone, bentonite, iron ore, talc, oil, gas, bitumen, to name but a few. But they're telling you you're poor. They're telling you to pray to God. With all of these resources, tell me, what is the use of you praying to God? With all the resources that you see before you, that I'm showing you right now, what is the point of you praying to God? The people who are denying you, God is not the one denying you access to these resources. Oh. God is not. Oh. Let's be very clear. God has nothing to do with the denial of access to resources. It is your government. Like I showed you before. I showed you earlier on, didn't I? Let me show you again. Let me show you. It says here, rights to ownership of mineral resources is held by the federal government of Nigeria. So in any state, if you find resources that you can use, granite, we have it. Instead of using our own natural resources to improve our lives, to create jobs, we go and import. The government forces us to go and import. Foreign countries, a Canadian company is in Osun right now mining our gold. A Canadian company is in Osun State right now mining the gold, whereby, do you know how much jobs that could create for Yoruba people, for Igbos, for all? So for the sake of Nigeria, if you want to believe in one Nigeria, and I don't, Nigeria is a slave camp. Do you know the amount of jobs that you could create? And it's not like we haven't got the brains to be able to mine ourselves. We have the brains. We have everything we need. We have the manpower. We have the resources. And yet these people, they restrict your access. These people restrict your access. You see? Let me go back again. Sorry. You see? I want you to just keep looking at that. The right to ownership of mineral resources is held by the federal government. And they hold it. How do they hold it? In the 68th exclusive item. Go to number 36. You will see what I'm saying to you. Not 36. Beg your pardon. Not 36. 39. Go to number 39. Number 39 says what? Mines and minerals, including oil fields, oil mining, geological surveys, and natural gas. They have taken away the right. We, the people, can't have access to it. But yet, the same people who deny you the access, they will tell you, let's pray to God. Pray for what? I said it. Pray for what? Pray for what? What you deny me? God had nothing to do with this. No, there is nothing. No. Jesus has no business. Jesus is an European man. He can stay in Europe. We don't give two shits about that. What we give two shits about is the government denying people the access to their resources. And that's what we're here to expose. They all pray to God. Pray to fuck. I'm sorry. I'm just really pissed off right now. I'm sorry I'm losing it. But when you realize that they've made themselves God in our own land and deny us access to our resources. And then they tell us, oh, if we're not doing what they tell us. They're the ones who are preventing our development. We have everything we need and more to be the greatest country on this planet Earth. But they are denying us access to it. Because for their own benefit, they have impoverished the lives of millions of us. Without that shouldn't need to happen. It shouldn't need to happen at all. You understand what I'm saying? I hope you get what I'm saying. please, as you're coming in, subscribe to Citizen AY, share this broadcast. It's got very vital information that will benefit each and every one of us, even the people in Arewa. But one thing is certain, we can no longer be part of the same governance. We need to have our own independent nations. Yoruba nation, Igbo nation, or Biafra nation. We must. And then we trade as partners. It is prerequisite. There is no other way. We will have to trade as we will trade with Arewa. But we must stand alone as Yorubas. We must stand as Igbos. We must stand as a Middle Belt and Arewa. And then that way we can begin to use our resources to improve our lives. These people who are intent on being to be leaders or to be born to rule, they are restricting our right to our own resources beneath our feet. And they tell you to pray. Did God come down and write the law to say right of ownership to mineral resources, it will be held by the federal government? Tell me. And who? And this is why we are asking for referendum. We didn't vote for this. There was no referendum where we said, we will allow the federal government to keep control of our resources beneath our feet, 100%, and no state will have a say on it. We didn't. There is no referendum anywhere. Where's the referendum? And this is why we're saying we have to go for referendum now. This is why we're saying to you all, and I will keep repeating this, I will come back and I will talk about this, and we will not relent until Southerners collectively begin to understand that we have been enslaved in our own land. Like I told you, I just showed you Lagos State. You got clay, bitumen, oil, glass sand, and there are even other resources mineral resources that people. These are the things we should be teaching our kids from the time they are born, so that they have, when you teach them about their resources beneath their feet, they have solution to their problems. When you teach a man to farm, if he's hungry, because he's farmed, he can go into his farm, pick up some food, corn, beans, whatever, yam, grow, and eat. Same thing with those resources. We haven't got road. We got bitumen. We can mix the bitumen, fix our roads, and we're fine. And we can maintain ourselves. We don't have to travel anywhere. And we create jobs for our people. Believing in this idea that somebody in the sky will come and save you is a lie. The people in government are the ones who have put obstacle in your way. It's time we woke up. The people who are in government have put obstacle in our way. They've withdrawn the rights to our ownership of our own resources in our own land, and they now tell us to pray. Pray for what? Pray for what? And they put all of these people, pastors and imams, they put them in a prayer, but if they pray for you, you will get. It's a freaking lie. It's a freaking lie. It's time we woke up. This is the problem here. And I'm showing you, and I hope you share it. Enlighten as many people as you can. These are key information that we must share. And I will talk about more things later on. I was supposed to leave, but it's clearly, the information that I'm giving here is something that I want to make sure that as many of us get access to, share, and enlighten as many people as possible. I will do the same program. Either I will share this broadcast on Facebook, and then I will then share it again on, and I will come and do a live broadcast again and do a joint session on Facebook, and I'll probably do in Yoruba as well. But I want you to really understand that this idea, I'm not saying don't pray, don't get me wrong. You pray in your own time. But when somebody is telling you to pray, we have to pray collectively together to save Nigeria, it is a fraud. What they're saying is to continue to pray for their one Nigeria so they can continue to loot. That is what is happening. They are telling you to pray to continue to keep one Nigeria together so that they can loot your resources from underneath your feet whilst you are praying. It's time you woke up and understood that. Very, very important point you understand. I'm showing you now. Rights to ownership of mineral resources is held by the federal government. And how do they hold it? I'm showing you exactly how. Under 68 exclusive items, mines, minerals, and including oil fields, oil mining, geological surveys, and natural gas is held by the natural government, the federal government, and they're denying you access to be able to improve your lives. The same government that will not provide you water, light, road, schools, bridges, healthcare, safety, security, are the same ones who are denying you access to your own resources. Tell me, is that not madness? It's time we woke up. Is that not madness? This is the real problem here. Pray in your own time. But understand that when you are praying and you're praying that God help, if you're saying God help Nigeria, it means you're praying for God to continue to allow Nigeria to keep you in enslavement. Because Nigeria has put in powers to deny you access to your own resources to improve your lives. That is the plain fact. You're looking at the things black and white. Let me show you again. What you see here, right of ownership to mineral resources is held by the federal government of Nigeria, which grants titles to it grants titles. So if you're now a person that the government wants, oh yeah, we'll give you access to it. Why do you think the likes of Otedola and all that? Why do you think? It's about control. Don't you get it? Look. I'm showing you the facts. Look. See? Mines, minerals, including oil fields, oil mining, geological surveys, natural gas. They are part of the 68 exclusive items. That is why they don't want a referendum. They don't want a referendum because when you do that, the people get back the power. And the people's voice must be heard via referendum. It is our right. Nobody. We, the indigenous people, Yorubas, Igbos, Middle Beltans, we have the right to self-determination. This oppression has gone on long enough. This oppression has gone on long enough. And we need to wake up and face this head on. Not for us, but for the coming generation. This is not about you and me. This is about the coming generation. The coming generation have suffered long enough. Look at and because we are not doing what they're doing, many of our kids are now resorting to Yahoo to make money. Why kill somebody when you have the resources beneath your feet? Tell me. The reason why they're killing people because they believe they've not been told about in Lagos State. I've showed you. Let me show you again. Let me see if I can get that up. In Lagos State alone, just in Lagos State, I will show you. No, not that one. Beg your pardon. I'm going to just find this. Just in Lagos State alone, we have resources for building the roads. Here we go. These are the kind of information they should tell you. When the kids are taught about the fact that you have bitumen that can be used to fix your roads, clay that can be used in all manner of ways, glass, sand, oil, and gas. When you know that you have that in Lagos, do you think you will be busy? Will you have time to go and say you want to kill somebody for money making ritual? You are rich already. The thing is, many people don't realize that we are blessed beyond compare. That we are that nation, that the land, the Yoruba land, Igbo land, Middle Belt land, it is blessed. There are blessings. Again, I remind you, over 40 mineral resources. Over 40. In the UK, they have to go to South Africa to go and import iron ore. We have 12 billion tons. 12 billion tons of iron ore. And you tell me we are poor. Come on, wake up. Stop believing the lies that they're telling you. This is a freaking lie by these people. It's freaking lies. And you should be upset. But I want you to use that energy to wake up others. Because we need it when we stand together collectively. That is the only way. Is it mass? What they call it? Critical mass, like Obasanjo likes to say. We need to go for critical mass of people. The more people we wake up, we need to form a critical mass that will demand and insist that we go for referendum. That is the only way forward. We can no longer support this fraud. We need a critical mass of people to join us in the struggle for referendum, demanding for referendum, putting before the people the facts. Lagos, you have bitumen, clay, glass sand, oil, and gas. And there are more. Those are just a few. Now imagine if you knew that from the time you were young. And this is oil. This oil that you're talking about, do you know that oil now is $90 a barrel? And it is in Lagos. And you cannot get your share because somebody centrally somebody from Abuja is telling you haven't got access. $90 a barrel right now. But that money they take away, They never fix your light. They never fix your road. They never fix your school. And they tell you have no to pray. To pray for what? Why should you pray for something that the Most High knows nothing about? The people who who put this obstruction in your way are asking you to pray. Don't you know that that's wasting your time, distracting you? Don't you know that? Our job is to wake you up, to make sure you understand that they put this obstacle. Let me show you the obstacle again. They put this obstacle in your way. You see, they have taken the right. And how have they taken the right? I will keep saying it. Section 30, number 39. Item number 39. Mines and minerals, including oil fields, oil mining, geological surveys, and natural gas. They put that law in the way to frustrate your efforts to improve the lives of you and your family. And they tell you to pray. Was it okay, let's say, was it Allah who put that, who wrote the law to deny you access? Was it Allah? Was it Jesus Christ? So why are you praying to any of these people? You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You need to focus on what your problem is. The problem is the governance, and that is why we have to go for referendum now. The governance has imposed an unjust injustice upon you and your family. We are all suffering today. I guarantee you, with proper referendum and proper constitution in place in each of the nations, none of us would ever need to set foot in a foreign land. That's how much resources. I just told you, 12 billion tons of iron ore. That alone. There's gold in Ondo State being mined by a Canadian company. Why isn't a Nigerian mining that? And do you know how much jobs you will create? We need to use our critical thinking. We have to get to critical mass. This is the object of what I'm trying to tell you, the critical mass. Please give us a thumbs up if what we're saying resonates with you. I don't want to just be talking. Give us a thumbs up if what we're saying resonates with you. It's very, very important, the information that we're presenting, and we'd like you to give us a thumbs up, like the page, share, subscribe. Very, very important. I will come back with more information. There are things we need to look at about how, about Yoruba land, and we'll be discussing that later on. But I'm going to come back and reiterate this point. There is, for you to pray, if you're praying in the church for your own time, you want to pray. If your prayer is about just to connect to the Most High, fine. But if it's to connect so that to pray that God help me so I can get healthcare in Nigeria, God help me so I have good road in my area, God help me so I can get good schools, God help, all of those things. Understand that the government are the ones who are putting obstacles in your way. It's not God, though. It's not the Most High, oh. And that is what I'm trying to get you to understand. So don't misunderstand me. You can keep your religion. You can be a Christian. You can be a Muslim. But what I'm telling you is that the government is using it as a way. That is why they make sure that they put in key places those imams, those pastors, to make you believe that God is really part of the whole of the fraud. God don't do fraud. They put these people there so that when you pray to them, they are helping me. I've got this now of Sanwo. Out of 2 million children, he's giving scholarship to 2. Out of 2 million children out of school in Lagos, he's now giving scholarship to 2. Oh, I've done great job. Nonsense. It's time we woke up. So I'll be back later on. I will talk about this. I will share it. I'll come back and do a longer broadcast. But I wanted to test the system initially. Thank you for watching. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. If this resonates with you, I urge you, share, and share. Let us shame those fraudsters in power. We need to get to critical mass. We need to get to critical mass with this information. The government have got the right of ownership to mineral resources that belongs to you and I. They took it away by way of the fraudulent constitution. Mines and minerals, including oil fields and surveys, via the 68 exclusive items. That means they restrict our access to it, and they are oppressing us, and they're making money from it and oppressing us in our land and refusing to give us. You can't look, refinery, oil refinery. To process oil, you can't even process it. Am I lying? Please, if what I'm saying makes sense, give us a thumbs up. If what I'm saying to you makes sense, give us thumbs up. I'm gonna be coming back. I might do a longer show later on today. I'm gonna probably do something on the other platform, but it looks like I've got something right a little bit now, because it's for the first time now in a long while I've been able to do a broadcast without my broadcast dropping out, some timing coming off, and it's just been, I really wasn't able to focus on things, and that's why you could notice that I was not able to really be my usual robust self. But I'm telling you, these guys, they have lied to us long enough. We are blessed with resources. Let me read to you this again. Let me read this line to you. You see? The domestic mining industry is underdeveloped, leading to Nigeria having to import minerals that it could produce domestically, such as salt or iron ore. We even import salt. What is more, the government, to make things worse, they restrict access to this by preventing the likes of you and me to come in our communities and states to go and say, we're going to mine this. We make the money, the government will pay. We say, okay, they should, instead of government restricting our access, they should say, okay, fine, we would set up a system whereby you can mine in a particular way. We get some of the returns you get. That's what they're doing. That's what should happen. But impoverishing us in our own land and then blaming us for the improvement and telling us to pray is a fraud. It's a fraud. I want us all to wake up. I urge you all, please wake up. We need this information to reach critical mass. I thank you for joining me. Again, I'm just going to show you one or two things. I'm very, very important to understand. I want you to really understand that we are not poor. Number one thing. In Lagos alone, I'm showing you a picture here. Lagos, you have bitumen, you have clay, you have glass sand, you have oil, you have gas. Oil right now is $90 a barrel. The fact that the federal government is restricting our access to that oil means, one, we have to pay through the nose for the oil that is in our land. That it should be cheap for us to have. Number one. Number two, we cannot improve our roads because of the funds we can get from that. It make it easier. Look, by restricting our access, they are importing bitumen. Bitumen that we have bucket. In 2018, the government of Nigeria imported $2 million of bitumen. And we have it in Lagos. And you want that kind of governance? Come on, wake up. We need to wake up. Make no apologies. All of them combined, they have held us in slavery. We've been bound hand and feet. It's time to free ourselves from the shackle. It is time to free ourselves from the shackle. So let me show you that. Now, I want to show you again, those of you that may be joining us now. Yeah. You won't hear this from the lips of the pastors. Your pastors will never tell you what I'm telling you now. You hear me? Let me show you. Your pastors, they will never tell you what I'm showing you now. You know why? Because the pastors and the government, they are paddy. You know, they got paddy. If you tell them the lie, they will continue to believe. They won't wake up. Listen, you won't hear this from the lips of your pastors or imams. Nigeria is enriched with over 40 types of minerals, including marble, gypsum, lithium, silver, granite, gold, gemstones, bentonite, iron ore, talc, oil, gas, bitumen. You will never hear it. Go up, bring the church. Quote me. You will never hear Oshimolowo or whatever they call themselves, or Adeboye. They will never talk about this because it's bad for their business. It's bad for their business, for the people to know that they have riches beneath their feet. It's a threat to, it affects the plan. The government plan is to make the people completely brainless, to not have the ability to think for themselves and use the resources to free themselves from the bondage they've been placed. So then the churches are there to hoodwink the mind. The churches and mosques are there to close the minds of the people from the benefits and the riches beneath their feet. That's why I'm saying to you, go to any church today. You will never, and quote me, you will never hear them tell you that we have over 40 types of minerals, including marble. You know, they'll go and buy marble in Italy. We have it. Gypsum, lithium for batteries for phones. Oh, we have it. That is what they use for in the phones. Oh, lithium. So you understand the importance. Silver, granite, gold. Granite they use real granite in the kitchen. And you're telling me we're not rich. We're not, and you're telling me we're poor. Are you, you need to have a, just, no. Time to wake up. My people, wake up. So I'm here to enlighten us, and I will do more shows about this. We need to reach critical mass with this information. What we need is this information for people to wake up. We need to be teaching 2-year-olds about the fact that in each of their states, they have resources. Let me show you, and I won't show you now. I'm going to read to you what this kind of resources you have in several states. I'm not going to show you now because it takes a lot of time for me to put that up. But I showed you the Lagos State one. I'll show you another one later on. And I want to, the idea of this is to wake up our minds. Our minds have been shut down. It's time to reawaken it. Now, I'm going to show you in Ogun State. In Ogun State, we have limestone, phosphate. Phosphate is what is used in fertilizers. Phosphate is what is used in fertilizers. So we have limestone, phosphate, granite stone, gypsum, bauxite, bitumen. Again, they have bitumen for the roads. So there's no excuse for the roads in Ogun State to be bad. Feldspar, clay, glass sand, kaolin, quartz, sand, tar sand, gemstones, and crude oil as well. It's in Ogun State. These are the kind of things we should be teaching our kids. We should be teaching them about what they have. What good is about learning about Jesus Christ, who's across the water in the King Rome or whatever they want to call it, when what they need to know is beneath their feet. I'll tell you more other states later on. I'll tell you, and these are facts. There are over 40 resources, 40 mineral resources beneath our feet. Don't let anybody deceive you and tell you that we are poor. Never. If you don't have the right information, you will make the wrong decisions. Let me say that again. If you do not have the right information, you will take the wrong decisions. Many of us, because we are so imbibed, and you're free to practice any religion you want. But understand that the religion as it's practiced right now is designed to enslave and indoctrinate many. So we never know our true right to access our true right to what is beneath our feet, to our right, our birthright to our resources beneath our feet. That's why I'm saying, if you do not have the right information, you will make the wrong choices. And that is what many of us have been doing. With this information, with critical mass, we can free ourselves from the bondage, and we use our resources to improve our lives and that of those of the coming generations. This is a task that we must not reject. We have to take this on, all of us, but we have to first get to critical mass. Make sure this information reaches as many people as possible. I'm going to stop for now. So just keep looking. 40 types of minerals: marble, gypsum, lithium, batteries for phones, for cars. Right now they're trying to move away from petrol. Lithium is going to be batteries they use in cars. Imagine if we did that, how many jobs can be created from that? Do you know? Can you see? This is the visionary thinking that those who are in power now don't have. That's what I'm trying to make us wake up and understand. Sometimes I talk about this with such passion because it is something is in me telling me we need to say this to wake our people up now. We need to wake up. Please, if what I'm saying resonates with you, leave a comment. I just want to. I don't want to just. Leave a comment. Let us know what we're saying resonates, and you can relate to it, and you will take action. I don't want you to just watch what I'm saying alone. Take action. Go on Facebook and go on YouTube and on internet. Go on the search engines. Social media. Go on the search engine on Google. Type in gold Nigeria. Type in lithium Nigeria. Type per state. This information are things that are there, but because they're so busy occupied our mind with religion, we believe that religion is the only solution. It isn't. Religion is the biggest problem that we face because it's being used to blind our minds, and it's time we woke up. The best thing to do for us right now is to go for a referendum. And I'm saying this not to attack religion. You are free to practice your religion. You can do that. All of us are free to choose. You can be Babalawo, you can be Christian, you can be Muslim. That's fine. But what I'm trying to tell you is when the government is telling you to pray, pray to help them solve the problem that they created for you. Listen again. The government is asking you to pray to help them solve a problem that the government created for you. I want you to think about that for a second. Let me stop. I'll say that again. The government is asking you to come and pray collectively for a problem that the government deliberately put in your way to frustrate you. Think about that. And what do I mean? Let's go back again. The government are asking you to improve your lives, but pray to God to give us the way. But yet the government are the ones who have denied you access to your mineral resources beneath your feet in each of the states to improve your lives. So what's the point of your praying? You see that God has nothing to do with this. You see that your Jesus Christ or Allah has nothing to do with your oppression and suppression in your land. Nothing. It is a distraction. And that is what I will keep saying. It is a distraction that you must confront and understand. The minute you take that away and you focus on the real issue, going for referendum to change the law, the fraudulent law they imposed upon you without a referendum, the minute you change that, you're free. Not only you, your coming generations are also free. We must take this task on. We need to reach critical mass. We must reach critical mass. And I don't want to be talking. I want us to make sure that what we're talking about are meaningful discussions. I'm showing you how a nation endowed with over 40 mineral resources is being impoverished because the government restricts the right of ownership to those mineral resources. Our access as people, our birthright as Yorubas, as Igbos, to our resources in our own land, to improve our lives collectively. If you had a good governance, they will say, we encourage you, the government will, they will train each and every one of us how to go and to train about what resources you want to. There will be schools teaching us about mining gold, mining lithium. How they'll be teaching all those things. So you have schools as the kids are coming out, they are learning that, and they will go into those industries. There will never be unemployment issues in our country. Period. But the government that denies our access, that's a government that is impoverishing us. And it's not a government we want to be part of. It is not a government we want to be part of. And that is what it's about. This is about our resources. The fight, the Fulani terrorists now is about accessing and controlling our resources, taking our land from us, making it a Fulani nation. And these are the facts as they stand. And unless and until we wake up in the South and work together, critical mass, nothing will change. And we are here to wake you up. I'm going to have to end this broadcast. I'll be back later on. I'm probably going to do it. I'll come back and talk about this again because we need to talk about this subject over and over and over. This is something that is of so much immense importance. I want you to understand the connection between our lack of access to our resources and the government laws that are restricting our access to the resources. Our lack of access to the resources, the 40 minerals, is because of government putting in a law, 68 exclusive items, that denies us access to our own resources in our own land. And that is why we are impoverished in our land. It's not the work of God. There's no God involved in this. It is the work of the people in governance. We need to understand that. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll be back later on. If this resonates with you, please share. Give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe the page. I'll come back with more information later on. There are things we need to talk about in greater detail. Once again, it's coming to the election season. They're coming with their lies. Say no to 2023 selection. Don't believe the lie. Sanwo is helping. 2 million kids are out of school in Lagos. He's not doing anything about that. He takes 2 and gives them scholarship. Oh, fantastic. It's nonsense. It's a gimmick. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you and goodbye. Goodbye. I'll be back later on. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.